The JA Finance Park simulation follows classroom learning on topics ranging from budgeting and the use of credit to taxes and career planning. It gives students a hands-on opportunity to put what they have learned into practice. During the simulation, students will adopt real-life personas complete with education background, job and income, marital and family status, credit score, and existing loan debt. They will construct a personal budget that includes typical expenses such as housing, food, saving, transportation, childcare, and insurance. And then they'll shop and pay for things their family needs and wants. On simulation day, volunteers arrive at JA Finance Park early to participate in training. This session is key to their preparation and comfort level in working with students and the technology used in the experience. The volunteer's role is to provide student assistance, facilitate group activities, lead group discussions, monitor student progress, distribute and collect materials, use teachable moments to enhance student learning.
So in the simulation room, what we do is we assist children with we assist young adults with understanding budgeting. We help them with understanding what is it like to earn, what is it like to spend, what is your wants versus your needs.
I actually been doing JA for a couple years now, and I started training with Valerie one-on-one when she was still in the school districts and we were going out into classes, which correlated right over here once they opened up Finance Park. And it's just giving the kids a real life scenario on how budgeting and financing is going to be playing a big role in their life.
I want to welcome you into the mission-fed JA Finance Park.
JA staff leads the simulation day. Volunteers each work with a small group of students. The simulation consists of 4 phases: setup and savings, research, budget, shopping and payment.
Brandon Cash.
As students arrive at JA Finance Park, they are assigned a group and a home base and will soon meet their group volunteer. JA staff facilitates a brief presentation and shares some high-level instructions and the daily schedule. Once students have moved into their groups with their volunteer, the setup and saving phase begins. Volunteers distribute tablets or simulation paperwork. Students learn their persona and income, then share and compare their situations. The first financial decision made is saving. Volunteers facilitate a discussion around the various types of savings that allow students to dream and identify goals. Then they pay themselves first and make an initial commitment to savings. This is their first step toward building their monthly budget. The research phase allows students to explore the businesses in JA Finance Park. Student groups rotate from business to business, learning about the products and services available and why families often include these products and services in their monthly family budget. Volunteers facilitate the discussion using talking points provided by JA staff.
Thank you for that.
Students then return to their home base and create their budget. The goal in budgeting is to make a plan for what the student believes he or she will need to spend each month, keeping in mind their marital status and family situation. During shopping, students make spending decisions for each budget category. They can track what they spend via the status bar and compare it to what they budgeted.
Single with 2 kids, do you want...
Volunteers help students see and understand some of the realities of living expenses during this phase. Childcare, insurance, credit card payments, and water bills are just a few of the expenses that surprise many students.
It was really useful to me because I didn't know all of this information that was informed to me. It's really a shocker what adulthood is really like. It's really scary in a nutshell what can be thrown at you.
I learned that creating a budget is good for being successful with your money, and having help from other people is good too.
I think it was the idea of not only having to pay for myself, but having to pay for my spouse and my child when it came to clothing and food and transportation.
I think that maybe in the future things would be difficult, like realizing how much more expensive things really are. Because as a teenager, I don't have to pay for things that my parents pay for.
After shopping, students pay for the items they've selected. Both debit cards and electronic transfer payments are used to pay their monthly expenses. Students make payments by visiting businesses to complete the transactions. As the simulation day comes to a close, students share their aha moments and review their final report with volunteers. JA staff facilitates the wrap-up with the entire student group prior to dismissal. Volunteers sometimes gather for a debrief with staff before departing for the day.
It's like, how come I can't buy this house or do this? And it's like, you have to go back and budget. And it's kind of like a shocker to them at first.
Back in the classroom, teachers debriefed the simulation by asking students to share their experiences. Students revisit their career goals to see how the JA Finance Park experience may have changed their plans for the future. Students in PBL classes complete and present their culminating projects. Participation in JA Finance Park gives a student a solid base on which to form a lifetime of effective financial habits.